What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the opinionated hippie. Gonna do a quick deep dive into the Scorpions' three of their live albums. Not the acoustic albums that they dropped. Not that, I think they dropped a live album like 15 years ago that I'm not sure is still in print. That's pretty decent. But I'm gonna talk about the three live albums that I think really do a good job of defining kind of the first 20 years of their career, a little more than 20 years, and breaking it up into three, like, really well documented, good listenable segments. Three double albums, so it's essentially 6 CDs worth of music. And you have Tokyo Tapes, which came out in the end of the 70s, kind of documents the Uli Roth period. Worldwide Live, which dropped when they were huge after Rock You Like a Hurricane dropped, and they were just touring the world. We get a double Worldwide Live documents that era of the Matthias Jobs, that phase of the Matthias Jobs era. And then we get Live Bites, which came out 10 years after Worldwide Live, which kind of documents the Savage Amusement, Crazy World, Face the Heat era. And over the course of these three albums, these 6 sides of 6 CDs or 6 separate vinyl pieces of music, there's only one repeated song. Like the Tokyo Tapes almost exclusively focuses on the Uli Roth period. Worldwide Live almost, if not exclusively, focuses on that first phase from like after Uli left all the way through when Love at First Sting dropped. And then Live Bites mixes in some old songs, mainly from, I think only from the Uli Roth period. We get some old songs in the mix, but then we also get a handful of songs from those 3 albums that followed Love at First Sting. But only one of them is repeated. And it's not a song that's repeated from Worldwide Live, but it's a song that's repeated from the Tokyo Tapes, which, was released almost like 2 decades earlier. So the thought process that went into releasing these 3 albums, I think makes for a really a solid set of 3. Like it almost should be a box set of like Scorpions Live, and maybe they have repackaged it at some point. I don't know about it, but I'm a hardcore Scorpions fan. I listen to all 3 of these. One of them I think is great, and I think every lover of hard rock needs to check it out and should own it. The other one I think is also great, but I also understand it's maybe a little more of like, yeah, if you don't like the Scorpions of this era, maybe skip this one. The other one I absolutely love, but I think it's one of those that you get the farther you go down the Scorpions rabbit hole, and I think it has it pays off. I think it's a pretty good listen. But I'm going to talk about these 3 because I love them. I'm going to rank them, and then that's it. And I'm going to encourage you to listen to them. I'm not going to play music from them. The Zappa Connection, Rock You Like a Hurricane, baby. Rock You Like a Hurricane. So anyways, yeah, Frank quotes that. So what do we get? At my number 3, I have their most recent, their most recent of these 3, 1995's Live Bites. And this is a collection of live material from 88 all the way through 94. This does have the one song that is a repeat, and that is In Trance, which is a great choice. It is a great performance. It is good. Yes. Thank you. I can hear this every day. We get a bunch of old songs on this mixed in with the new songs. We get Off Love Drive, Is There Anybody There, which has that awesome reggae vibe. It absolutely works. It's got this really pleasing kind of wave your arms and sing along, but it's a good song. The vibe is work. The band settles into a groove. The vocals are great. Really, really good deep cut. We get In Trance. We get When the Smoke is Going Down from Blackout. And they do this thing on all 3 albums where they will take an older, slower song, an older ballad, in this case, When the Smoke is Going Down, and do a shortened version of it. They don't play the whole thing. And if it does have a peak on the studio version, I think in all 3 of these, they avoid the peak. They just focus on the mellow part of the song, which still works. But then they always follow it up with another ballad, but a more contemporary ballad, something that they did more recently. And they give you a snippet of a ballad, and then they drop this other ballad which builds and has a climax and does that thing that Scorpions ballads do, which is they do it better than anybody else. And that's what they do here. They give you When the Smoke is Going Down, and then they follow that with Living for Tomorrow. You get a nice long intro, just so Klaus can explain how important this song is to them, and then they just absolutely drop it. It's a Savage Amusement leftover, Living for Tomorrow, just your classic Scorpions ballad. And then I think that's it. I think everything else on here is old songs. So we only get a couple new songs. But opens up with Tease Me, Please Me, which it's a pretty good song live. Like, I remember when it came out, I was like, okay, they're clearly going this more commercial route. But I kind of like it. Yeah, it's radio friendly. It's a pretty good opener. And it goes like in real time into Is There Anybody There? And so the segue works really well. Rhythm of Love. It's an 80s anthem. I think it's a pretty weak song. It's one of their newer ones. No Pain, No Gain. Another one that I think is just kind of weak. There's a crowd sing-along. These are the reasons why I'm like, if you're not a hardcore Scorpions fan already, this album could turn you off, because I don't think Rhythm of Love helps, and I don't think No Pain, No Gain helps. But they're decent late era or 80s, early 90s era songs. But then you get When the Smoke is Going Down. You get Living for Tomorrow. You get Concerto in V, which is this just a solo spot. It's 3 minutes of just, solo guitar playing. In real time, the actual tour that this was on, Concerto in V would go right into Coast to Coast. And they would do Coast to Coast. That's not on here. Instead, it goes into Alienation, which it never actually did live, so it's a manufactured edit. But man, it would have been nice to hear Coast to Coast on this, just because in real time that's what they did. And I don't believe they did drop it yet. It's on Worldwide Live, so I'm sure that's the reason they didn't put it on here. But I don't know, the momentum of Concerto in V leading into that, I think would have been cool. And I'll tell you why when we get to the end, why I think maybe they should have done it. We get Alien Nation, which is not a bad live song, pretty good. Crazy World, OK Rocker, the title track to that album. And the live portion ends up with Winds of Change, which is just this perfect anthemic ballad. You can see the lighters. The crowd takes over for the sing-along in the end, and then the band just never comes back, and the song kind of fades out as the crowd is singing. It is some really good live stuff. It's not great, but as a Scorpions fan, I enjoy it. But then you get 3 studio tracks to kind of fill out the rest of the album. Edge of Time, heavy rock, pop Scorpions rock, doesn't do anything for me. Heroes Don't Cry, acoustic ballad with a big electric guitar solo. White Dove, folky acoustic, na na na, some like na 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 type vocals. I don't need any of these 3 songs. The dates for these shows are available. Some of the songs they played, there were deeper cuts. He's a Woman, She's a Man. They dropped The Zoo. They dropped Blackout. Like, I know you're trying to avoid the repeats, but since you already broke the seal on that, maybe instead of these studio tracks, you throw in some of these older cuts, drop that Coast to Coast. I don't know. I like the album. It's not one I would recommend unless you're already a Scorpions fan. That's my number 3. My number 2... Worldwide Live. This came out in 85, and I think they had to put it out because they were riding the huge wave that was Rock You Like a Hurricane, and this band was absolutely huge at this time. I like this album. The sound could be a little bit better if there is a complaint, but I think one of these shows, if I'm not mistaken, was the one I was at down in Costa Mesa, California. I think a number of these tracks are actually from that show, which is pretty awesome, but there's no repeats. You only get stuff. You don't get anything from the Roth era. It's all only from the most recent albums. And it really works because those are 4 really good albums. Opens up with Countdown, which is Atmospherics. Then we get Coming Home. My only complaint is we don't get the slow intro to Coming Home. They go right into the fast part, but it really, really works as an opener. I would like to hear those songs, but I like the fact that this band is willing to do things like this, shorten ballads to get more songs out, so I'm okay with it. Then we get Blackout, great second song. Bad Boys Running Wild, great new song. Loving You Sunday Morning. This set list is absolutely killing it at this point. Make It Real. Just, you look at the opening of this, you get Coming Home from the new album. You get the opening song of Blackout. You get something from the new album. You get another opening song, and you get another opening song. You get the openers from every album to like start off. They know how to like lead off a show. Fantastic. Make It Real is amazing. Then we get Big City Nights, which is just like, these new songs can hold their own among these like late 70s classics. Really, really good song. Then we get Coast to Coast. Perfect time for a nice heavy instrumental. Then we get the shortened version of Holiday. Really nice. The crowd is singing along. They sing the chorus over and over again. They're shortening it by like almost half, but it's okay because what comes next? Still Loving You, and might be the greatest power ballad ever written. Absolutely awesome sequencing. Then they finally drop Rock You Like a Hurricane. Then we get Can't Live Without You. Really nice build-up before they actually go into the song proper. We actually get some like jamming in the beginning of this, kind of loosen up. They did more of this earlier in their career, but it's really nice to hear this. Another Piece of Meat. This is the hype up the crowd. Like Klaus is really hyping up the crowd before we drop into the song. We're getting this end of the show crazy energy. Then we get The Zoo, which is just one of their best songs. This is Scorpions swag. The wah solo jam in the middle is amazing. The boys are delivering. Then we get No One Like You, which I would argue is their best song. And that 1-2 punch of The Zoo, No One Like You, at the end of this is just phenomenal. Then we get Dynamite, some sort of high-speed Motorhead type action going on there. We get a Dynamite reprise after they play it. The crowd really, really loves this. And then we get some like really like, rock ending, everybody go crazy at the end. Then we end the show with Can't Get Enough, with some really nice full attack, end of the show type, leave it all on the stage energy, which goes into 6-string Sting, which is 4 super indulgent minutes of Matthias Jobs soloing. Klaus is screaming. There's some really big chords. It's just super, super indulgent. It's just like, this is where the guitar player gets to shine and do that super indulgent hard rock thing. But then they go back into Can't Get Enough to close out the set. I love this listen. I think the songs are great. I'm a huge fan of Love It for Sting, so I think anything they play on there is just epic. I have zero complaints about this, other than the complaint about we don't get all of Coming Home, but who cares? And the sound could be a little bit better. Live Bites is the one I think you should only get if you're starting to go down that rabbit hole. Worldwide Live, I think, is good for all hard rock fans. If you like hard rock at all, I think it's a great album. Tokyo Tapes, I kind of think is low-key essential. The Uli Roth era of the Scorpions is fantastic. It's amazing. And here we get a live show. They can call the better tracks. They can deliver the goods. They can jam out. They can drop some covers, which shouldn't work, but somehow do. Tokyo Tapes is amazing. Pretty much the exact set list of the show. There are some bonus tracks at the end that insert songs that were played. Like they did a similar set list, but some shows would get an extra song. We get some bonus tracks at the end that give us those extra songs, plus give us alternate performances from Tokyo. I think there were 4 shows in Tokyo. 2 of them are represented on this. And the songs that are jammed out, if this song is from like the first show, all the bonuses are the jammed out songs from the second show. So we get like 2 versions of all the stuff that's like stretched out to any degree. That's on the re-release. Tokyo Tapes is amazing. Opens up with All Night Long. Great opener, great Uli energy. The bass is fantastic. It's just like little over 3 minutes of pure hard rock adrenaline. Then we get Picture Life, which goes into that more melodic Scorpions vibe that like, hey, If people listen to us, we might be able to get on the radio because we got a little melody in our hard rock. And the 1-2 punch of All Night Long, kind of, delivering the blows, softening you up a little bit, and then Picture Life comes in with a little melodic hook, and you're like, yeah, this is some good stuff. Then we get Backstage Queen, which just like drops this like opening riff that like immediately brings you in. Just some really nice type pop hard rock. The double guitar action just absolutely killing it. Uli just being Uli and just being a beast. Really good 3-song intro before we get to the first sort of epic Scorpions type jam of the night, Polar Nights. Uli sings it, so be prepared for some rough lyrics when those vocals drop. But he is just strutting. He is jamming out that intro. We got some little funky hard rock action. It is loose. It is stretched out. This is an early show peak. There are bands who they drop this song to close out their main set because it's the only song they have that really jams. This is the 4th song, and it's fantastic. The band sounds fantastic, and Roth is an absolute beast. Then we get In Trance, which is perfect because In Trance is one of those slow, fast type songs. Start off slow, drop into something heavy, go back to slow, drop into something heavy. And we kind of need that after like the devastation that is Polar Nights. It's nice to have them like almost like cuddling us for a little while before the heat gets turned up again. Really good pairing of songs. Then we get We'll Burn the Sky. So we're going back to an earlier out. We're dropping some like deeper cuts. Super psych rock, chill energy. Great mid set. Sort of your classic Scorpions ballad type stuff into this really good drop. Back into the ballad. Really nice dynamics in this one. At the end of the song, Uli gets some extra time to go off. They really stretch this one out in a nice way. We'll Burn the Sky. Absolutely perfect. It's like the 1-2 punch of All Night Long, Picture Life, and Backstage Queen are like your more typical like adrenaline, hard rock, a little bit of melody. And then there's another 1-2 punch of Polar Nights, In Trance, We'll Burn the Sky, where it's a lot more dynamic, it's a lot looser, it's a lot funkier, and it's just the sequencing, the playing, like everything about this. It's just perfectly done. Then we get Suspender Love, which right as the last notes of We'll Burn the Sky, I don't know if it's a mixed thing or I think it's a live thing. As the last notes of We'll Burn the Sky kind of fade out, the drums kick in for this, and it's just absolutely perfect. This one sort of has this like Alice Cooper-esque type riff with really nice bass playing. Has a little bit of a dancey swing that it goes into. Scorpions could groove, man. Scorpions could groove. Suspender Love. Then we get a little snippet of the first album. The only song we'll get, I think, on any of these albums from the album Michael Schenker was actually on. I'm messing up names, right? All right, anyways, I'm sorry. From their first album, In Search of the Peace of Mind, a shorter version of this song. Nice, dramatic, slower, and that doesn't really lead into a classical ballad as much as it sets up Fly to the Rainbow, which is just epic. The bass playing on this is epic. It's proggy, it's hard rock, it's some of Uli's just absolutely best playing in that sort of middle section breakdown. This is an epic song, and it really is like this is the next 3-song segment. Suspender Love, kind of just a little more hard rocking. In Search of the Peace of Mind to kind of lull us into this sort of comfortable space. And then Fly to the Rainbow, which is like, we're going for the stars again, man. Actually going for the rainbow again. We're going out there. Proggy, weird, indulgent. Playing's going to be great. Fantastic stuff. Then we get He's a Woman, She's a Man. Awesome groove. Great bass as always. Nice opening jam on this. About a minute and a half of Uli just kind of strutting his stuff before we drop into the actual song. Speedy's coming, which is just a good time. You could open with this song. You can close with this song. You can drop it as an encore. You can put Speedy's Coming anywhere, and everybody's going to have a good time. We get Top of the Bill. Great energy. Great opening riff. If you see it on the track list and it looks like it's really long, it is. because there's a drum solo in the middle of it. So we get drum solo in the middle of top of the bill. And then we get Hound Dog, a minute and 15 seconds of Hound Dog into Long, Tall Sally. And I kind of don't think either one of these should work, but it really is just, close to 5 minutes of Uli just jamming, and Klaus's sort of German English lyrics are absolutely perfect. So while I don't need either one of these songs, I'm in such good spirits by the time they drop that I'm like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, guys. Just do it. And then we get, and I believe in the actual show, those close the main set, if I'm not mistaken. And then the encore, we got a Steam Rock Fever, just that really awesome sort of rugged groove. Dark Lady, another one that Uli sings, some just great manic encore energy in this. And then we get a cover of a Japanese folk song called Kojo no Tsuki. The audience sings, they clap along, then the band drops in. I think Klaus just sings it a cappella for a while. The audience joins in. Eventually the band drops in and we go into like this epic Uli playing the melody type anthemic, like you can see lighters in the air and how proud maybe they feel that Germany in English is rocking, or in Japan. I mean, the levels of language and how this German band is always trying to sing in English and now in their Japan singing Japanese. It's all brilliant. Great Uli solo in this. And then the entire thing closes out with Robot Man. Awesome, just like Johnny B. Good type Chuck Berry riffing in this thing. Super nice breakdown in the middle. It's jammed. It's stretched out. It's like, Uli, this is your last chance to shine, which at one point was actually his last time to shine, because I think this is the tour during which he left the band. These are some of his last shows. Great groove, great jam, awesome way to end the show. Robot Man, just absolutely killing it. Yeah, I really, really like this. But then we get a bunch of bonus tracks on the re-release. You get Hellcat, which was the closer on the 27 show. Super stretched out. Goes in and has this awesome Hendrix Crosstown Traffic jam. Crosstown Traffic jam. It's like 10 minutes. It's your typical guitar solo indulgence at the end of a show. Got this doomy vibe in there. And then the jam as you go into this like Gypsy Queen. And I think there's an actual Third Stone of the Sun quote in this. It's long, it's heavy, it's hard rock. Awesome 10-minute Hellcat. You get Catch Your Train, which when it was played, like was right in the middle of the set of one of the shows. Really nice high energy version of this. You get the Japanese national anthem is played. Kimi ga Yo, Hendrix style guitar. Then you get a different version of Polar Nights. Another version of He's a Man, She's a Woman. I think the jam on this is like 30 seconds longer than the one we get. Top of the bill with another drum solo and another Robot Man. This is fantastic stuff. Like, I really think if you are a lover of hard rock or a lover of music, rock and roll, heavy music, guitar playing, music, Tokyo Tapes is a must get. I think it's just, I love this album. I am a huge Scorpions fan, so take that with what it is. That's what they look like. Tokyo Tapes, I would say, is a must own. Worldwide Live, other than the slightly weak sound, it's not horrible. Other than the coming home being shortened, which is not really a complaint, a fantastic album. Live Bites, if you go down the rabbit hole and you really like it, I think it's a good listen. I don't think it's essential. It's the one you can pass up. But as a fan, I think all three of these together, I still listen to each of them regularly. Tokyo Tapes gets more listen than the other two. I do think they work as like a really good snapshot of like 2+ decades of a what I would argue is an underrated hard rock band to this day, still. Despite how much everybody loves or doesn't love Rock You Like a Hurricane. I really like this band. All right. That's all I got. Check out these albums. Check out Tokyo Tapes. It's just really good music. It's just really good music. All right, I've made my point. Peace. Talk to you later.